This is episode 1 of the Freedom Coach podcast. My name is Natalie Sabrina Dahl, and I'm founder and CEO of the Victory Log and the Coaching Biz Quick Start Formula. Now, first of all, congratulations for making it here, and congratulations for myself for making it this far, because there's quite a few tech issues to overcome when you decide finally to do a podcast. And what's in it for you if you're listening to this podcast? So it's the Freedom Coach podcast, and it's all about being a freedom coach. And a freedom coach has 3 things that need to be in place. And I don't know if you agree with me. Maybe you can give me some feedback how you see this. Freedom coaches have 3 things that need to be in place. First of all, profit. Profit first. Help yourself first. So that's the first credo of a freedom coach. Why? It's very profane. It might sound a little selfish. But here's the thing. If you're a coach and you don't make a profit, you don't have a business. You have a hobby. So that's what we're going to focus on. I'm going to share tools, techniques, whatever I learned, whatever worked for me, whatever strategies I used to make a profit. Then the second credo of a freedom coach is freedom of choice. Freedom to choose who you want to work with, when you want to work with them, what model you want to use, what kind of tools you want to use, if you want to do it online, offline, and first and foremost, who you want to work with. That's the true freedom coach, because true freedom coaches, they don't just coach anybody, they really pick and choose. And they're able to because they're freedom coaches. And the third thing is sustainability. So I'm going to share with you whatever I have, whatever I use to make my business sustainable. So it's not just a one-time deal, but it's something that lasts for quite a long time. And then if you're really good, you can even sell your business 5-10 years down the road. If you're tired of it, you want to do something else, move to an island, spend your days on the beach, although a freedom coach can still do that. So that's part of freedom of choice. Your freedom of choice also where you're going to work. So those are the 3 credos. So profit first, freedom of choice, and make it sustainable. And a lot of it has to do with where I come from. So maybe I'll share a little bit about my background. I started my first company when I was 24 years old. And I was quite young, and I was quite naive, and I didn't really know what I was doing. I started an accounting firm because that's what I did at the time, and it worked out well. I was making more money. That was my aim. I didn't have a boss. I was more free. And I then started my second company 3 years later, which was raising and breeding thoroughbred Arabian horses. You're gonna say now, what? What do Arabian horses have to do with being an accountant? Well, nothing really. It was my passion. I was very young, was naive, and I thought this might be the passion of other people, and I'm sure we're gonna be able to make money. So it wasn't the case. Long story short, it took very, very long from conception when the mare was getting pregnant by the stallion until I could actually sell the product, which was the horse. It took almost 5 years. And that's a very, very long sales cycle. So what happened was I had about 25 horses and I couldn't make ends meet. I had to let go of my staff. I had to take care of everything myself. My marriage went down the drain. I had 2 kids I hardly saw. I was working 24/7 and things weren't looking good. So what I did is I created myself a golden cage by going back to bookkeeping and accounting and slowly but surely turning it around. It took me about 8 years. I turned my business around, but I was a slave to the job I had created for myself. Being an accountant for 2 companies, 2 bigger companies, and then it ended up just being one, and I was not free at all. And that's probably where this urge comes from, to be free, to be able to make a choice, to be able to say what I do when, to be able to spend my time the way I want to spend it, and still make a profit. And that's what I'm going to share with you. So I managed to work, I don't know, maybe a fifth of the time I worked before. And partially, yes, I work on my business and I don't make any money working on my business, but it's a lot of fun. And freedom of choice of what I do with my time. I'm not a slave to anybody anymore telling me what to do. So that's episode 1. I'm not sure if this is what you were looking for. If it's not, let me know. What is a freedom coach for you? What kind of a bell does that ring? When I say freedom coach, what are you thinking of? Leave me a comment, send me an email, wherever you're going to see this. We're going to spread this across the web and see what happens. And until we meet again, Natalie Sabrina Dahl, until we meet again, be free. Okay, now I gotta know how to turn this off. There we go.